Been in so many of these games, and it happens every night in the league. A team gets up big, especially with the threes increase, and the other team kind of cuts into it. How do you mentally try to keep a team focused so there isn't slippage in a situation like that?
Just keep executing, get timely stops, keep executing. That's what we did down the stretch.
A couple of those plays, Rui ends up with the ball in the corner. That was from you. There was a swing. I think you get to Austin before D'Lo's three. Is that just simple execution, and you're waiting for the double to come? And can you take us through those?
That's a lot of execution. We have the ability to have 5 threats on the floor at one time, and if the defense shifts, then we make the extra pass, and that was a byproduct of that. I was able to hit Rui the first one on the three, then D'Lo was able to hit him. Then I was able to drive, kick the AR on the baseline pass, swing to D'Lo. That's all execution.
You've often said that every season kind of has its own story. Like, you turned the page from the year before. With that said, like, how important was it the last few days, how this team responds to put itself in its best position to win after those 2 losses in a row?
Yeah, we got an opportunity to get on the floor, get some practice in, really dive in on the film, see the things that we were not doing well in those 2 games, the regression that we had, and today we took 2 steps forward, so that's a good sign for our ball club.
You spent some time with Kamala Harris with Team USA over the summer. What about that time made an impression on you, and why did you choose yesterday as the time to make the endorsement?
Well, I was going to do it the day of the game in Cleveland, but I didn't want it to overshadow the whole hoopla of me and Bronny going back home. That's when I planned on doing it. So I figured yesterday would be a good day. Everything was kind of silent, and I wanted to make sure that it was seen, heard with force. Having a daughter, a wife, a mother, and things of that nature, what she believes in when it comes to women's rights, when it comes to the future, with my kids and where I see our country should be. I feel like that endorsement is only right. It is. Come on, you guys know. Damn sure won't go another way.
What did your experience in 2020 with More Than a Vote teach you about politics, show you about the impact you can have on a very specific way?
Well, it all started with the shut up and dribble thing, obviously, and to be able to be in a position where you can have some influence, and you have a lot of people who who want to be in a position to have influence as well, to be able to speak outside of their rim, if it was sports or if it was the music or movies or whatever it is, whatever the industry is, to be able to have a platform where I was able to gather a lot of men and women to be able to speak out from that moment. And then the More Than a Vote campaign, obviously, an initiative was great, and I'm great, even grateful now that it's still going. I got some beautiful ladies that's holding that down right now. Mecca Gunke is a really good dear friend, and she's picked a great lineup of great people to be able to continue that, because we know how important it is. So it was very humbled to be able to have that, like you said, that year, and have it to be able to continue to go now.
Coach Reddick said pregame that the Lakers were going to stay in Toronto an extra day to see Vince Carter's jersey retirement ceremony. What do you think of Carter being honored by the Raptors, the first player in team history to have his jersey retired?
Congratulations to Vince Sanity, rightfully so. It makes all the sense in the world. What he's done for this franchise, the impact he had in this community, the way he changed how basketball is looked at in Canada itself, obviously Toronto, well deserved.
What were your memories of Vince in a Raptors uniform?
Some of my memories.
Anything stand out?
He has so many. Obviously the 50-point game versus Sixers in the postseason, the rookie windmill, two-hand windmill backwards dunk versus Indiana on Chris Mullins, went around Chris Mullins, and Rick Smith trapped the box. The lob in preseason down at University of North Carolina when we got that windmill. There's a ton. There's just too many to name, obviously, and obviously the dunk contest. When he shut down the dunk contest and gave you the it's over signal. So he has a lot.
Last question.
LeBron, are you aware? I mean, the Raptors had a number of rookies on the floor against you at various times, and are you kind of aware of some maybe the impact you have when some of these guys are playing you the first time? That they've grown up watching you. Does it work to your advantage a little bit?
Not in the moment, because the only thing I'm worried about is how I can make the right decision, the right play in that possession. So no, in the moment I'm not. You know, I've always just played the game of how the game, you know, what's in front of me, and not try to get caught up in, you know, if I was an inspiration to somebody, unless it's like talked about before the game. You know, I remember the what's the kid in Memphis?
Gigi Jackson.
Gigi Jackson, yeah. So when Gigi did that interview last year before we played them, there were moments on the court, and a speedy recovery to him too. I hate that he's not playing right now. Big fan of his, but there was a couple times on the court that I was like, okay, yeah.
Because some of these kids play with Bronny. I mean,
No, of course, Jacoby. Yeah, he's same class as Bronny.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, I knew that for sure. You know, I watched him at Baylor, obviously, and you know, so, and I watch all levels of basketball, so I know a lot of these kids as well.
Thanks, LeBron.
Thank you.